Economic crisis and bankruptcy of Sri Lanka lead to extensive protest. Sri Lanka's President Gotabaya Rajapaksa was preparing to finally give up the power by Wednesday after he fled from protesters who stormed in the presidential palace on Saturday, forcing him to announce his resignation. The event on Saturday were the culmination of months of anti-government protest fueled by an unprecedented economic crisis that bankrupted the South Asian island nation and fury over the ruling Rajapaksa clan's corruption. Hundreds or thousands of people has marched in the capital of Colombo on Saturday to demand the government take responsibility for crippling food and fuel shortages and mismanaging the nation's finances. After seizing the presidential palace, the throng of protesters walked through its rooms, with many of them jumping into the compound's pool. After fleeing, Rajapaksa boarded to the southern water where he finally bowed to demand his step down. The parliamentary speaker Mahinda Abiwanda said in a televised, to ensure a peaceful transition, he will step down on July 13th. The demonstrator had already put up a protest camp outside Rajapaksa office. The camp became the scene of clashes as the gang of Rajapaksa loyalists attacked protester gather. 9 were killed and 100 is wounded after a fight sparked between the pro-government and protester that attacked the homes of the lawmakers. Last Saturday, security force tried to disperse the crowd of people that mobbed in Colombo's administrative district. Dozens were injured, resulting in clashes. The spokesperson of Colombo's hospital said that there are 3 people who being treated for gunshot and the 36 others were suffering from difficult breathing after being caught up in tear gas barrages. Meanwhile, in the Prime Minister home, Rajapaksa were extracted by his troops who fired in the air to keep the crowd at the bay. The next in line, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe had called a meeting to announce his willingness to step down to pave the way for a unity government. But his decision failed to placate the protester who rushed to his residence to set it on fire. There are shared footage on social media showed the crowd cheering the blaze and broke out shortly to attack the security and several journalists outside Wickremesinghe home. On Sunday, the United States urged Sri Lankan leader to act quickly to seek long-term solutions. We urge this to the government, to any new constitutionally selected government, to work quickly to identify and implement solutions that will achieve long-term economic stability and address the Sri Lankan people discontent over the worsening economic conditions, including electrical power, food and fuel shortage, the State Department Antony Blinken said. Rajapaksa has a rocky relationship with United States over his economic ties with China. Sri Lanka has suffered over a month of shortage in basic goods and inflation after running out of foreign currency to import necessities. The government has a $51 billion owed debt and seeking for International Monetary Fund to bail out. Both United States and China offered to provide support to once prosperous island of Sri Lanka.